as we saw, when we tried to throw the ball, even in punts, it was very hard to get the ball to be accurate. So we knew coming to the game we were going to do a lot of running the ball. And honestly, we had our opportunities, and we know it's going to be a battle of field position. It's going to be one of those type of games, just grinder games. And probably just didn't execute as well as we, planned on it. And they made a few more plays. Our defense did a great job for us. Keeping that field position battle going, and even when they didn't have the best field position, buckling down and making sure Arizona State came out of there with little or no points at all. So it was a hard-fought game. The energy was definitely there. The effort was definitely there from all the guys. It was just if we had a few more plays swing our way, whether it be offense, defense, or even special teams, it would have been a different game.
Now with the weather, I know Coach Pete said that the rain was something that you guys fully expected, but that the wind may have caught you guys a little bit off guard because it was such kind of late notice and it just kind of came in really quickly. Did it kind of catch you guys a little by surprise?
Definitely. It's something being in the Northwest, we get a lot of rain, but we don't really get the wind like that. So even in practice, we're practicing the rain, but we haven't really experienced, seeing the ball, coming at you, as a receiver. The quarterback, it leaves his hands. You expect it to be one place, and then it curves off another place, kind of throwing off the accuracy. And we saw that in pregame. So, the coaches knew, going into the game that it was going to get even worse than it was in the pregame. So I think that was why they were cautious about passing the ball, and some play calls, were definitely altered because of that.
Hard to judge Troy and his performance because of that, then?
Yeah, definitely hard to judge him. Just because of the play calls, and he was in basically probably the worst position you want to be in as a quarterback. Starting your first game, with the wind, which is definitely a definite factor when you're throwing anything.
Have you ever had a season in which you've had 3 different starting quarterbacks in your football career?
Never. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like that before.
Tell me about just continuity and trying to deal with that from a receiver standpoint, because quarterback and receiver, it's such a comfort zone you try to establish.
Honestly, we get a lot of, you don't really see, the chemistry that you get to develop in the game because there's only one quarterback, but every quarterback gets reps during practice, so that we can be more familiar, with how they throw, their tendencies, where the trajectory of the ball is going to be, and just like their comfort level with all of us. So it's definitely been interesting, as far as, getting that wide receiver, quarterback, connection for, all the receivers, even all the quarterbacks, because, it's changed 3 times, so. It's been kind of frustrating, I must say it's been a little bit frustrating, as a receiver, to constantly, have to deal with all those different things, all those different components that you can't control, but honestly you just have to just roll with it.
Yeah, it seems like the game plan by nature might change a little bit with each quarterback, right?
Definitely. It definitely has changed, because Siler has more of a, he's more of the dual threat, because he can, he's a great athlete, not taking anything away from Jeff and Troy, but, he's more so the runner. And then, Jeff has just a fantastic, one of the strongest arms I've ever seen, as well as Troy, and they can all do different things, and their strengths are different, so just trying to, incorporate all those different strengths, that they have, it changes the game plan every week.
How much of a chance is there that the offense, DiAndre, is just going to break out one of these times? Do you feel like it's there and it's just not coming out?
Honestly, I do feel like it's there. We have a veteran offensive line. We have a great stable of running backs, and we probably have the deepest, core group of receivers, depth-wise, probably in the Pac-12. So we just need to just get that spark going and just keep it going.
Let me ask you a question quickly about Colorado going there. Dealing, you had the wind and the rain here. You deal with the altitude up there. Any kind of a factor?
It could be. If you let it. Obviously it is, because we don't really get that many days out there to really get adjusted to it and run around in it. But you just have to just get with it, game time. I remember last time we were there, it's definitely different because, you normally have, some type of, water in your mouth, but, you go play and your mouth is dry and you get some water, you're like, okay, this is going to last me at least 2 or 3 plays. Next play, your mouth is dry again, so you just have to really just get adjusted to it and just get adjusted on the run, basically.
Maybe you go in the Dempsey Center and suck all the air out of it.
Man, that would be interesting. That would be interesting to have something to deal with. So yeah.
Did Arizona? Did you see anything from the other team that you were surprised or kind of not prepared for? Did they do anything different than in general than what you anticipated?
Not really. We knew that Arizona was a heavy blitz team, and they pretty much were going to blitz every down, and that's exactly what they did. They definitely dial up the different pressures that they do have, and we knew all of them coming in. It was just a matter of executing what we had planned, the game plan was to do to offset that.
DeAndre, tell me about being out there with the boy Shaq running the football. What was that like?
Honestly, it's great having Shaq there. It's great having any of the running backs in. Shaq also brings him. He's a very dynamic player. So you never know. When is just going to he's going to break like 2 or 3 tackles, or even 4 tackles, and just run for the end zone. So it's definitely great to have him. On the offensive side of the ball.
In your practice all week, is it more fun to have him